Assalamu alaikum everyone, this is RPHVR and welcome to the platform of Pharmapedia once again with a new video and with a new drug, that is alendronate. So this is the drug 7. Let's begin the video. Alendronate belongs to the class of the drug that is biphosphonate, and it is available in the strength of 10 mg and 70 mg. Obviously in the dose of the 70 mg only once weekly is required. Alendronate available in the sodium combination, and it is equivalent to 70 mg alendronic acid. Now in the pregnancy and lactation it is contraindicated. The pharmacology of the alendronate is it inhibits the osteoclast mediated bone resorption. As I am again repeating the point that it's belong to the class of the drug that is biphosphonate. So this is the basic mechanism of biphosphonate class. Like all biphosphonate, it is chemically related to the inorganic pyrophosphate, and as you can see in the picture, bone formation is known as osteoblast and bone resorption is called as osteoclast. Now come to the pharmacology of alendronate. It is pyrophosphate that inhibit both osteoclastic bone resorption and the mineralization of the bone newly formed by osteoblast. Alendronate specifically inhibit both bone resorption and the mineralization of the bone newly formed by the osteoblast. So as you can see, the functions are the points of osteoblasts, that synthesis of uncalcified matrix or osteoid, deposition of hydroxyapatite crystal, and in the osteoclast secretion of acid for dissolution of mineral phase. So these are the basic concept of osteoblast and the osteoclast. Its inhibition of bone resorption is dose-dependent manner and approximately 1000 times stronger than the equimolar effect of the first biphosphonate drug, alendronate. This is the first biphosphonate drug. Under therapy, normal bone tissue develop and alendronate is deposited in the bone matrix in a pharmacologically inactivated form. For optimal action, enough calcium and vitamin D are needed in the body in order to promote the normal bone development. This is a so obvious point. Hypocalcemia, that is a low level of calcium, should therefore be corrected before starting the therapy. Alendronate has same advantages but having the some disadvantages as the pyrophosphonate in the inhibiting mineralization, but all of the potent and containing biphosphonate including alendronate, racetonate, and all these drugs. So one point mentioning here, that is an important point. Zoledronate is available in the form of the zoledronic acid. Now the indications of alendronate, as I described previously, it is available in 10 mg and the 70 mg strength. So the indication for the 10 mg strength, it is used in the treatment of osteoporosis in the postmenopausal woman to prevent the fractures, in the treatment of the glucosteroids inducing osteoporosis, because as you can know, steroids induces the osteoporosis, and you can see here the stages of the menopause also. It is also used in the prevention of bone loss in the man and woman both. Now the indication of tablet 70 mg alendronate. It is used again in the treatment of the postmenopausal osteoporosis to reduce risks of the vertebral and the hip fractures, and the symptoms of menopause is irregular heartbeat, hair loss, itchy skin, hot flashes, skin dryness, night sweats, breath pain, and all that. So the dosage, the tablet should be taken upon arising with a full glass of water 30 minutes before food, drink, or other oral medications, because it interacts with the another medications. Remain upright for the 30 minutes after dose. It is not recommended in the children. And and as you can see, its indications are not reflected that it should be used in children. Now, in adults, tablet 10 mg use once daily. Glucocorticoid induced osteoporosis 5 mg once daily, as it is available in the 10 mg only, so half tablet use once daily. In the postmenopausal woman not on the estrogen hormonal replacement therapy, 10 mg once daily, and the prevention of postmenopausal osteoporosis 5 mg once daily. Tablet 70 mg used once weekly. OW means once weekly, one tablet once weekly. Now, advice to the patient: when as a pharmacist you give the medication to the patient, then what is the advice you should give to the patient? Do not chew or crush tablet, swallow whole with a glass of the water 30 minutes before food. Do not take at the bedtime. Do not take with the tea, coffee, mineral water, soda, and etc. If you miss the dose, take the missed dose as the next morning and then return to the normal schedule. Do not take two doses in the one day. Take dietary supplement of the calcium and vitamin D as recommended, and as you can know the reason as I described in the heading of pharmacology. Taking a small frequent meal may help to reduce the flatulence, bloating, nausea, and the acid refluxes. Contraindication: in the renal impairment with the GFR, glomerular filtration rate less than 35 ml per minute, esophageal abnormalities, and all these are the mentioned contraindication, and most specifically in the case of hypocalcemia. Now the precautions. Upper GI disorders, you can give the patient very precautionally in these conditions. Hypocalcemia and vitamin D deficiency first. If the patient having low level of the calcium and vitamin D, want patient to report any symptoms such as difficulty in swallowing, retrosternal pain, worsening heartburn, and to discontinue therapy immediately. Now the interactions obviously with the calcium supplement, antacid and the NSAIDs. Adverse effect: esophageal ulcer, abdominal pain, dysphagia, abdominal distension, musculoskeletal pain. Really, patient may also feel rashes, angioedema, and oropharyngeal ulceration. So that's all with this drug and with this video. Meet with a new drug with a new topic in the next video. Till